Hey guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. So today's article comes out of InfoWars. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting off with a bang, literally. Today, this article came out at 1:46. It says, "Watch. Trump shares footage of military strikes on ISIS terrorists." We are already like we're already in there. Um, this is nuts. I haven't even watched it, but we're going to watch it together for the first time. You know how we do around here. It says here President Donald Trump shared video to X Monday showing the moment the U.S. military launched surgical strikes, striking ISIS terrorists in Somalia over the weekend. The unclassified night vision footage shows caves in Somalia, Golis mountain region, just before being bombarded by missile strikes. Let's read. It says, our initial assessment is that multiple operatives were killed in the airstrikes and no civilians were harmed. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said in a statement, adding, the action further degrades ISIS's ability to plot and conduct terrorist attacks threatening U.S. citizens, our partners, and innocent civilians, and sends a clear signal that the United States always stands ready to find and eliminate terrorists who threaten the United States and our allies, even as we conduct robust border protections and as many other operations under President Trump's leadership. Now, that screams like America first. That screams you will not have another Israel situation where you just start coming in, paragliding down, parachuting down like that, and being able to then commit these atrocities, and then allow them to go unpunished, unchecked. And if I was if it was me, if it was anybody else, and you're the president of the United States, and you have to protect your nation first, plus your citizens, and send a signal to terrorists that are like, hey, this isn't, you're a threat, you're committing threatful actions, we're going to take action. Um, it's a bad day. That's a bad day, and that's something that says, it's not like a um, who's going to play chicken first. It's like, no, I'm going to hit the red button. That's where we're starting. Like, and it will be worse afterwards. That's what it screams. It screams, do not ever try to do this again. If it happens, we're just going to bring even more. Like, that's what I mean, think about it. That's what he's saying. His actions prove otherwise. His actions prove that in the fact that he's not messing around. And that's a leader you want, because you have to have a leader who is just, and who weighs the scales, and who protects his people first. And it doesn't matter who's in power. Anybody who's a president of their nation, prime minister, whatever, the highest office in your land, that is your first priority, is to protect your citizens, to grow your nation, to the health and the wealth of your nation, but make sure it's secure, and that anybody who would try to deem some kind of threat. I mean, I'm thinking of this literally from a kingdom perspective. God will not allow sin, and he will take you out. He did it to Ananias and Sapphira. Um, he did it to anybody who threatened his land. We're ready. Let's watch. Whoa. Yo. I mean, was that it? Oh my. Is that through the clouds? Is that more? Oh, bro, I don't know what I'm looking at. Or they're sending even more, and that's just the the smoke from, man. That is nuts. That is nuts. Yo, not they are not messing around. It says here, this morning I ordered precision military airstrikes on the senior ISIS attack planner and other terrorists he recruited and led in Somalia. These killers, who we have found hiding in caves, threaten the United States and our allies. These strikes destroyed the caves they live in. Um, and he says, it killed many terrorists without in any way harming civilians. Our military has targeted the ISIS attack planners for years, but Biden and his cronies wouldn't act quickly enough to get the job done. I did. The message to ISIS and all others who would attack Americans is, we will find you and we will kill you. Yo. Ah, I mean, I'm pro Second Amendment. I'm pro, I am, because there's somebody, it's not these that unalive people, it's people, it's the wickedness of our hearts. It's something going on inside that. They're not inanimate objects that are getting and doing this. It doesn't matter. It's not. There aren't AI that's just running around and we're programming them to do this. And then as they program and do something like that, then yes, something takes over. I would think something takes over. Guns aren't just getting up and floating around and pulling triggers. So then that's not what happens. Missiles aren't being fired just like that. They are being strategically and accurately worked on by human intelligence to program and perform said technology to do said thing, and then it does it. And so, if anybody broke into my house, I would find you, and I would guaranteed. Why? Because I have a wife and a son, and that's all that matters. That's all I have to say. I have a wife and a son, and that's just my home. If I'm the president of the United States, I have a duty and an obligation to protect the citizens of America from any threat that would even try to act like they're puffing their chest out or doing anything against our possibly our nation or other allies. Like easy. So, man, this is yeah, it's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. We're already here, and I'm not necessarily opposed to it. Like I'm not. Not because I want to see people and I want WW3 to happen or anything like that. It's because I don't want the United States to ever become a nation that is allowing ideas that don't that for better for a lack of a great term that do not make sense. You can be whatever you want. You can identify whatever you want. Boys are not boys anymore, girls are not girls anymore. I mean, vice versa, right? It's there's all these other boys, this, that, and the third. Like I'm a horse now, and I'm a unicorn, and biology doesn't make sense. Like what? Like these things that are foundational, and somebody's just trying to wipe the floor with that. You can have all your ideas, but some things are unchangeable. And when you start to do like stuff like that, you start to bring in these ideas that are not only harmful, they are destructive, and they are built around demonic ideologies. And it's very clear. Doesn't mean that this stuff can't anybody's opposing you can exist in America. You can protest America while people wave their flag at in a nation they don't want to live in. How nuts is that? You can't do that anywhere else. That's insane. I've seen it so many times now over the past weekend. Protests of people waving their flag, yet they don't want to live in that nation. They want to live here. Doesn't make any sense. I'm for the protection of America, Americans, and anybody who wants to live here and abide by that, right? Because that's what makes sense. America first. I'm for it. I'm for my wife and my son living safe. I'm not for totalitarianism or communism or any kind of isms that are trying to give out not allowing religious freedom or freedom of speech or anything like that, or things that are even if your government turns on you, like hey, like the a second amendment of sort. This is why we have it, so we in case government goes nuts. Hey bro, it's it's a bad day. It's a bad day for you because if you think you're just going to run out of here scot free doing something like that, you can't. Your citizens are armed. See what I'm saying? Um, by the people, for the people. A government that's run like that. It's by the people, for the people. That's it. Um, this is yeah. I mean, just watching that, I'm like, I don't even know what's next. But we've been talking about this, and we are keeping our eyes on stuff like that because what's happening is it's pretty. It seems fast. Not fast. Maybe it's just right on time. Anyways, guys, that's video. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed already and you've been watching the content, do me a solid. Get me to 1,000 subscribers. That helps me get to a closer point to be able to monetize and maybe make something out of this. And I would really appreciate it. But if you don't, you don't. That's okay. I'm sure it'll come when it comes. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one.